Hello friends, and welcome to a North Alabama winter disappointment. Yesterday we were told we might get 6 inches of snow, and then it changed to maybe 1 or 2 inches. And then where we live, we ended up getting a wintry mix, which is incredibly disappointing. You don't get snow, so you can't play outside. There's the threat of losing power, and we don't have the best equipment to deal with icy roads, so you can't go anywhere. So we're iced in. It's so cold out here, but this is not snow. I know it looks like an underwhelming amount of snow, but it's actually sleet. I had a friend ask me, what's the difference between snow and sleet? If it's so cold outside, how is it not always snow? Well, we're gonna get more into the difference between snow, sleet, and freezing rain today. But I'm going to do that more in depth when we get inside because it is way too cold out here. I don't know if you can hear the sleet hitting the leaves around me, but it's little tiny pieces of ice that are hitting the leaves. And if you can tell, I don't know if you can see how quickly it's falling too, because it's heavier than snow. It's not catching the air and floating down nicely. It's falling because it's literally tiny pieces of ice. I'm going to try to pick some up and see if y'all can see it in the camera, but I'm not sure you'll be able to. It is literally tiny pieces of ice. I don't know if you can see like the spheres of ice, but this is not snow. It's the worst. So anyways, we're going to wrap things up out here because I'm cold and I'm not dressed properly. And we're going to get more into what creates snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Let's go.
How does a tree grow? Why does the wind blow? When does a flower bloom? How can a rocket shoot to the stars or land up on the moon? It's science and technology, engineering, mathematics. Get smart, keep it simple. Let's learn about STEM.
Okay, we're back in the house. It's much warmer in here, thank goodness. So let's talk about snow, sleet, and freezing rain. First, we need to understand what precipitation is. Precipitation is the form in which water falls from clouds all the way to the ground. So you've got all kinds of different precipitation. The most common is rain. Rain is when water falls from the clouds in its liquid form. So it starts as liquid and it falls to the ground and it hits the ground as liquid. That's rain. We're going to talk about snow, sleet, and freezing rain today because those are the types of precipitation that you get when it's really, really cold outside. So the question that was posed to me was, if it's so cold outside, why is it not always snow? Why do you get these weird forms of precipitation? When it's really cold way up high in the clouds where the precipitation starts its journey, it starts as snow and it has a long way to fall all the way to the ground. Sometimes in weather systems there can be layers before it hits the ground of warmer air. So in order for snow to form, the air has to be at freezing or below. And freezing for water, because the freezing temperature for different matter is different. So for water, it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. So it starts as snow if it's freezing or below. If it stays at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or below, it stays as snow. So it's snow all the way to the ground, and then your ground gets covered in snow, hopefully, and you can build a snowman and make snowballs, and that's a lot of fun. If snow falls, but then it hits some warmer air as your atmosphere is doing crazy things, because weather is really unpredictable. It does a lot of different things. If it starts falling as snow, but it hits some warmer air that's 33 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer, it will melt that snow. Sometimes it melts it completely. In the case of sleet, it'll melt it a little bit, and then it hits some colder air, some freezing or below, and then it freezes into what's like an icy slushy mix. Freezing rain starts as snow and it's really cold up high, and then it hits warmer air and it never hits cold enough air again to refreeze. So it starts as snow and it's very, very cold, but it warms up just enough to lose its shape as snow. And then when it hits the ground, it's so cold, all the surfaces and everything are so cold that it freezes once it hits the ground or it hits whatever surface that it lands on. Freezing rain is what we really don't like, especially here in the South where we're not prepared for the really cold weather like this, because we don't get this weather a lot. So we're not super prepared to deal with it. But in anywhere, if you have your utilities running above ground, like we have poles that run our utilities, like our electricity, that freezing rain will make those wires and cables so cold that it can really interfere with the efficiency of your energy, and like sometimes it makes your infrastructure really brittle and stuff can break and then you lose power. So in this winter storm that we just had, we were really worried about that, but luckily we have not lost power yet. I hope if any of y'all are experiencing the freezing kind of precipitation, I hope you get snow, because sleet and freezing rain are not a good time. And if you do get snow, make sure to take some really fun pictures. Build yourself a great snowman, grab a sled and find a hill and have some really safe but exciting fun. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you learned something. And remember, we're always going to get smart, keep it simple, and learn about STEM. Bye! For 0 Celsius or below, it stays as snow. My goodness. My astronaut fell down. Let's put him. He doesn't like to stand up.